All right, guys, let's talk about shamans in Phase 4, Season of Discovery, boosting in Scarlet Monastery. They are very good at it, way better than mages. I get compliments from the people all the time that this is way faster, and also that I'm like never dying. Um, you get about 160 mobs for 12 minutes, and it's practically guaranteed. It's just you're never gonna like fail, and the guy in my party right now is level 34, and he's getting about 350 to 400 EXP per mob, which, is about 60,000 EXP per run. So that is about 300,000 EXP an hour. They are paying 10 gold per run per person, so that's 50 gold an hour. If you have a full party, that's 200 gold an hour. And they're just shamans are kings at this, a little bit about the pull is you'll see me doing these earthbind totems to just like entangle all of them, and I will use a fire nova totem right away, but you don't want to put it in the crowd of enemies. It will get killed before it detonates, so you want to turn and like do it to your side, and detonate it, and then kind of pull back with a magma totem and just AoE them down, right? But up here, is the only tricky part of the run. Morgraine, this boss, if you hit him, it pulls the entire cathedral, but you want to put an earthbind right here, and you really want to do that to get the trash mob away from you, because Morgraine will keep following you. He's immune to slow, and there's a chance he could do like a 5-second stun on you, and if the trash mob were on you, like, you're dead. There's just no way around that. And these guys hit a lot harder. I wouldn't use instacast chain lightning. I would save those for chain heals during emergencies, because there are times your health can just drop, and you really want to keep Riptide and Earth Shield on at all times, especially so your chain heal can eat that Riptide and get a really fat heal. Other than that, you're doing the same things. You're doing, Flame Shocks, Molten Blast, Earthbind totems, Fire Nova totems, Magma totems. That's kind of like the gist of it. And you're using heals to stay alive, right? Another thing is this isn't like TBC or Era where you had weak auras for them to follow. So I do a ready check to let them know to move on to arms and CATH over and over, right? And you always want to kill the first mobs of each wing. The first two here in arms, and then there's one in CATH. The reason why, I haven't tested it in SoD, but I remember in TBC that they would actually reset in the train. They would run back to the beginning and kill the low levels, and that's just like it's really bad, because you want them to get EXP and you want them to be like returning customers, right? You'll notice like during these pools, I'm constantly using Earthbind Totem to create distance, so I'm not taking huge chunks of damage as I'm running through them. And if you do have a lot on you, you kind of want to turn and jump and face them as you're moving forward, so you do block them. You'll notice in that hallway, I'll use a Earthbind Totem and then project it forward down to get the rest of them and just really slow them. And if there's a lot, still behind me, I'll use another Earthbind Totem. But I usually don't have a problem. And I don't know why I go to this spot. It's just, this is my go-to spot. It's Paladin and TBC. But it just collects all of them, and it's probably easier to bring them back out in the courtyard, but I don't know why I was going back and forth in this little room. I think it's because this pool is so easy, like you could practically face tank them. You really don't have to Earthbind, and you can just AoE and heal over and over, it's usually not a problem at all, but yeah, that is kind of the pool in a nutshell. It's really easy, it's really safe, and let's get into the loadout here. All right, so the loadout here. Let's talk a little bit about first off, just bring some potions. You just never know. Like maybe your shield breaks and you need a potion right away, and you need Earthbind to equip a new shield. So these, very rare to use them, but do bring them. You do want to bring shields, right? I recommend maybe 4, because your shield will lose durability like 4 times faster than the rest of your armor. So this will save trips back to Brill to repair. Like I think this is after 2 runs, and it's already lost like 71 durability. It goes down pretty fast, right? So bring a lot of shields. Like I have some caster shield from DFC, this one from Ubers. This one, I forgot where I got it, some quest, right? And I just picked this up from the auction house. Whatever, you know. Just need shields, like 2,000 armor. Good enough. Who cares about stats, right? Whatever. Um, as far as gear goes, though, right, you really want to get elemental stuff, right? Like you need spell power, stamina, and int. So those are probably the three things you want to look out for. Um, like I've tried tanking builds, but the thing is, if you go defense with shield mastery, like yeah, you get spell power, but you don't get any healing power, and you're gonna need that. That's really big, and you'll know why when I get into my runes. So getting spell power will also give you healing power, and that's really huge. I definitely recommend getting LE gear. I'm not going to show you all of this stuff, you know. Just get LE gear, and you should be fine. Let's go over the runes real quick. Burn, just, you know, obvious, huge AoE. Shield Mastery, just infinite mana, you know, and tanks you up. Power Surge, so you can get insta-cast chain heals and sometimes lightnings. This is paired with Burn and Riptide. Earth Shield will just keep you alive throughout the whole thing, hence why you really need like a spell power build. And then Decoy Totem for the CATH pools because they will frostbolt you and slow you, so this will just keep you going. You want to constantly use grounding totems as you're going through it, and then when you get hit by one, use Decoy. Riptide will keep you alive big time. It's instacast heals, instacast hot, and you can use this before an insta chain heal, and you'll be full health. Really important to get Riptide. I go Molten Blast for that AoE just to kill the crowd faster, but you could go Lava Burst for that Morgraine pool, you know, and try to kill him as fast as you can. Um, so you don't get that 5 or 6 second stun, which will kill you. So that's the only time I would do Lava Burst, personal preference. I like Molten Blast. I've gotten comfortable with the pool. As far as rings, I went defense specialization because that's 50 spell power when you pair it with shield mastery. I don't think hit really matters since they're so low level, but I chose nature over fire because I think getting the Earthbind totem hit is way more important than any of the damage. Storm, earth, and fire, obviously, because you want that earth root, you know, the Earthbind totem to root them. Really big rune. You definitely want this more than anything else. So let's quickly go over the talents. I went with an Ellie tank build, and I'll just point out the major ones that you want. Um, Elemental Fury, you know, way more damage. Storm's Reach is really nice because you're going to get insta-cast Chain Lightnings as you're pulling mobs, and having that extra range to tag more mobs is just such a nice quality of life. I think triggering the Fire Nova faster is really nice. 1 second cooldown reduction on your shocks, increased damage big time, and you'll be able to pull more effectively with Flame Shock. This is a really big talent. It gives you 20% more radius on your Earthbind totem. Really, really important to pick this up. And 15% damage for your fire totems. Really, really big. As far as enhancement goes, you just want the defensives, you know, like shield block, 5% dodge, 5% or 10% armor, and parry, you know, and the rest is like just so I could tank dungeons. It's whatever, you know, whatever you want, really. But that is the talents, you know, that's the gear, that's the runes. Um, you know, I've tried doing the one pull in CATH, and I've done it a few times, but I die a lot. It's just, dude, when you don't have Earthbind ready and they all catch up to you, like, dude, you just get slaughtered. There's just so many mobs on you, you know? And if you make a mistake during the kill window, like, it can be very devastating. And I almost recommend using a fountain tactic over the way that I'm killing them in the hallway, just to be safe. But I figure, like, you know, you're getting 12-minute lockouts anyways, so it fits an hour pretty perfectly, and it doesn't hurt. You know, you can just do the 2 pull in path, because if you're dying more than you're succeeding, like, people are gonna leave, they're not gonna return, you know, and you really want a good reputation in this, um, because that just, you know, higher chance you're going to have a full party, because if you're only boosting 1 or 2 people, you're not making that good money. You know, you can make more gold out there doing other things. So that's why I recommend the 2 pull in. CATH. But if anybody does have any strategies, tips and tricks, maybe other builds or runes, or even like there's maybe trinkets or shields out there that are much better for this. For example, like TBC had a trinket that would heal you every time you blocked, and when you pop that, like you're just full health immediately, and it was really nice. It was almost required to do the TBC pools. But if you have any recommendations on any items, strategy, builds, anything at all, please share with the community. We'll all grow. And if you have great ideas, please share it in the comments. Because I also want to become a better player as well. And yeah, we're all here to have fun, make money. So yeah, thank you guys very much for your time. And yeah, I hope you guys try this out.